This is no longer about fame. This is about a form of dominance that borders on the illogical. A single hashtag, a name, hashtag Hyunjin, has surpassed 66.9 billion views on TikTok. To comprehend this number, imagine every person on the planet watching his content at least 8 times. But the true shockwave is not the total, it is the velocity. 100 million new views were accumulated in just 60 hours. In a digital ecosystem where attention is the scarcest currency, this speed is not mere virality, it is a sociological phenomenon. And here's the crucial point. Hyunjin, the main dancer of Stray Kids, has officially become not only the first fourth-generation K-pop idol to reach this milestone, but also the first artist in the 26-year history of JYP Entertainment, the home of legends like Rain, Wonder Girls, and Twice, to do so. A resonant question emerges. What is truly happening? Is this merely proof of his fandom's power, or does it signal a fundamental shift in how we define a global star? The facts are these. The TikTok hashtag Hyunjin has exceeded 66.9 billion views, with a growth of 100 million views in just 2.5 days. The subject is Hyunjin, the main dancer and visual of the global boy band Stray Kids. The achievement was confirmed in mid-2024, with explosive growth continuing unabated. The stage for this event is TikTok, the epicenter of global youth pop culture. The why and how form the core of our investigation. This achievement is driven by a lethal combination of hypnotic performance talent, clever content strategy, and a fandom that has evolved into the world's most efficient content distribution engine. To understand the magnitude of the quake, we must first examine the landscape before it hit. Hyunjin has always been known as the performance protagonist of Stray Kids. His star has always shone brightly. But in the densely populated constellation of fourth-generation K-pop, he was one of many bright lights. Yet there was a difference. Hyunjin possesses a rare quality, a dramatic intensity that translates perfectly into the short-form video medium. Every movement of his arm, every shift in his expression, from melancholy to fierce, is crafted for a platform like TikTok. He doesn't just dance, he narrates in 15-second stories. So how did this fantastical number accumulate? Official sources from JYP Entertainment confirm the figure, citing aggregated data from TikTok. But the narrative is more complex than a press release. This is an explosion triggered by a perfect catalyst. First, the release of new content from his group, Stray Kids, which is always highly anticipated. Second, Hyunjin's ability to create iconic fan cam moments, snippets of performance so perfect they take on a life of their own outside the context of the song. And the third and most critical element is the fandom, Stay. Stay has evolved from mere fans into curators, editors, and the algorithm itself. They do not just consume, they recreate, animate, synchronize, translate, and most importantly, distribute. Every video edit, every dance cover is a single voice in a colossal choir proclaiming Hyunjin's name to every corner of the platform. This is an organic marketing campaign that no amount of money can purchase. So, are these 66.9 billion views the peak of Hyunjin's career? Or are they instead the starting signal of a new era where an idol's influence is measured beyond album sales and music charts, moving towards a wilder, more democratic, and far less controllable metric, dominance in the unregulated digital frontier?
If the numbers are the symptom, then talent is the disease. And in the case of Hyunjin, we are dealing with an epidemic that is being met with global celebration. But what is the genetic code of his talent? What makes his movements so instantly recognizable and, more importantly, so effortlessly replicable and worthy of homage by millions of TikTok users? This is where we encounter the first major twist. Many idols dance well, but Hyunjin dances with emotion. Choreographers and dance analysts we consulted highlighted one thing: bodily musicality. Hyunjin's movements are not just on the beat, they are on the nuance of the music. He dances the melody, not just the rhythm. His transitions from smooth, fluid motions to sharp, powerful hits create a dramatic contrast that is perfectly suited for a platform that thrives on visual surprise. One analyst noted, Hyunjin understands that the camera, especially the phone camera, is his primary audience. He engineers his movements for the close-up shot. His attention to the details of his fingers, his neck, and his gaze turns a large-scale group dance move into an intimate monologue that connects directly with the individual viewer. Then there is another layer, his identity as a painter. This is not just a hobby. In past interviews, Hyunjin has often spoken about how the process of painting taught him about composition, shading, and storytelling. Our analysis suggests that his approach to performance is that of a visual artist. He sees the stage, or the camera frame, as a canvas. Each performance is a piece of art he paints with his body. This aesthetic consciousness is what grants him his rare, distinctive edge. The impact of this artist's approach on the industry lies in how he is repersonifying the idol. He is no longer just a perfectly polished product, but an auteur. A creator with a coherent artistic vision, both on stage and on the canvas. This attracts a broader demographic, including art and design enthusiasts who might not have been traditionally interested in K-pop. He is indirectly expanding the definition of what an idol can be and be interested in. Reactions from within the industry are beginning to surface. A creative director from a European luxury fashion house, who spoke on condition of anonymity, told us, "We are watching. Hyunjin has the X factor we look for, an authentic visual sensibility. He doesn't just wear clothes, he brings them to life with a narrative. In a world thirsty for storytelling, this is invaluable." This comment hints at a potential future where his influence could extend far beyond music. So, are we witnessing the rise of a new kind of idol? A performer artist whose vision is perfectly aligned with the demands of the digital content era? If so, what does it mean for legacy agencies like JYP to manage a force of nature that is, by its very definition, powered by its potent individuality? Every foundational phenomenon sends out aftershocks. This explosion of 66.9 billion views is not about one man. It is a seismic tremor felt across the entire structure of the K-pop industry. These shockwaves challenge old models, unlock new opportunities, and inevitably create underlying tension. The most significant twist in our report lies in the dynamic between Hyunjin, the uncontainable digital force, and JYP Entertainment, his legendary agency with a structured and time-tested system. On one hand, Hyunjin is their greatest asset in the digital space. On the other, his blazing individuality may be the greatest challenge to the all-rounder idol system JYP has built over decades. JYP is known for its stringent control over artist narrative and image. Yet the power of the hashtag Hyunjin stems from the opposite. It is a decentralized narrative controlled by millions of users. The agency is no longer the sole storyteller. They must now negotiate with a force they helped create but cannot fully control. Internal sources indicate intense discussions at management level about how to harness this momentum without diluting the authenticity that fuels it. The impact on the wider K-pop industry is already visible. Rival agencies are now aggressively scouting for talent with high viral potential, not just good singers or dancers. Dance training is now accompanied by lessons on how to create moments for the phone camera. The paradigm is shifting from creating idols for the stage to creating idols for the social media feed. Hyunjin, perhaps unknowingly, has become the prototype for the future idol. Reactions from within Stray Kids themselves appear positive and supportive. However, industry analysts warn of the potential for a perception imbalance. When one name in a group possesses such a colossal digital metric, it can create pressure for both that artist and the group's dynamic. So far, Stray Kids appear to have managed this successfully by framing individual success as a collective victory, a testament to the strong bond they share. So where does this leave us? Hwang Hyunjin has shattered a ceiling and created his own new standard. He is no longer just a K-pop idol. He is a living, breathing content ecosystem. The final question, and perhaps the most important one, is not for us or for JYP, but for you, the audience. In an era where your attention is contested by billions of content pieces, what makes you stop the scroll, tap the heart, and share a video? Is it pure talent, a compelling story, or a connection that feels personal and authentic? Hyunjin's success may just be the answer, and it signals one thing: the future of entertainment will never be the same again.